and welcome to our experiment today. Thank you so much for your participation. I would love to just get right into it, if you don't mind. We have quite a few different tests to go through. We're going to start with the more tactile tests, go to the more visual tests, and then finish with the auditory tests. Do you have any questions before we begin? Okay, very good. Let me know at any point if you do. So, we are going to start with describing touch location. I am going to be touching you on the face, and I just want you to tell me where you feel the touch, if you could describe the area. I will also use other tools later on, but we'll start with my fingers. Is that okay with you? Excellent. So, if you could just close your eyes. Okay. If I touch you right here, where am I touching you? Where do you feel that? Right about here. Good. If I were to touch you right here, where is that? Which side of the face? What part of the face? Good. If I were to touch you right here, where is this? Good. Right here. Excellent. What about right here? If I touch you right here, where do you feel that? Good. How about right here? Good. Right here. Yes. And how about right here? Okay, good. Here. Right here. Yes. Right here. Good. Right there. Right here. Right here. Right. Good. Right here. Yes. Good. Let's see. How about right here? Right here. Up. Right here. Excellent. So, let me grab a different tool. Now I'm going to touch you with a different material. You could just tell me where you feel that. If I were to touch you right here, where is right here? Good. What about right here? Here. Yes. Right here. Good. I get real close and touch you right here. Yes. Very good. Right here. Yeah, there's going to be duplicates. There's not too many unique spots. Right here. Okay. Right here. Good. How about right here? Yes. What about right here? Yep, right here. Good. Right here. Okay. Right here. Okay. Here. Yes. Here. Good. Here. Yep. Here. Mm-hmm. Here. Okay. Excellent. Now, a different tool this time. Let's see. Quite a few different objects for our test today. Here we are. Something a little different. Tell me where you feel this touch. Good. Mm-hmm. Good. Right here. Mm-hmm. How about here? What about right here? Here. Good. Here. Yes. Here. Yep. Good. About right here. Yep. Good. Mm. Yep. Yes. Good. Uh-huh. Yep. Excellent. Okay. So, now we're going to do something a little different. And this test will only have 2 different tools or versions as opposed to 3. We are going to test 2-point discrimination. What this means is you're going to tell me whether you feel 1 touch or 2. 1 touch or 2. So keep your eyes closed. Tell me whether you feel 1 touch or 2. Okay. 1 or 2. Good. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Good. 1 or 2. Good. 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Good. 1 or 2. 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 And this time I'm going to bring in some little cotton buds so you can tell me 1 or 2. Okay? So let's see. 1 or 2. 1. One or two? Two. One. One or two? Two. 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 Good. One. One. A little tricky. Two. Good. One. Two. Two. One. Two. Two. One. Two. 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 One. One. Good. Okay. Now, I have a number of items around the room. And I have a few items on my desk here. And I'm just going to point out some items, and I want you to tell me what color they are, but be as specific as possible. Okay? So, for example, if I gesture to this, what color is this? What color would you call that? Metallic gold, certainly. And what is this? What is this item? It's a ribbon. Good. If I were to point to this right here, what color is this? As specifically as possible. Mm-hmm. Good. And what is it? Yeah, there's a few answers there. Fake flower, certainly. Faux flower. This is a peony. What about right here? Can you see that? What color is that object? Mm-hmm. And what object is it? Good. What about this right here? What color is this? Mm-hmm. And what is this? Brush. What about right here? What is this? Okay, what color is that? Yeah, you can give me a little mix of colors. Okay, what about right here? What color is this? Turquoise, good. What is this? It's a jar lid, good. What color is this? Oh, lavender, good. What is this? Little brush, good. How about color is this? Lime green, chartreuse, electric green, certainly. What is this? A scissor. Good. We are going to switch this a little bit, and I am going to name a characteristic, and I'm going to have you look around the room and try to find an object that fits that. So, for example, if I said, find something circular, what object, where might you find something circular in this room? There could be multiple answers. Okay, there is this little bottle here. There's the magnifying glass, for example. Could even be persuaded to call the flower circular, certainly. And if I said find something rectangular, where might you find something rectangular in this room? Look for something rectangular. And if I said look for something dark in color, where would your eyes go? What object would you pick for something dark in color? Okay, and find something that is a very bright color. What would you pick? Something that is very bright color. What about something small? What is something rather small here? Just look around. What is something small? And what about quite large? What object is quite large in this space? Good. And how about something translucent? What is translucent here? Okay. And how about a container? What object here is a container? Which one would you pick? Good. And what object is metallic? What is made of metal? Good. And something made of fabric. What here is made of fabric? Very good. Now we are going to look at your eyes and how they move. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to get up real close. I'm going to have you just follow some simple instructions. I would like you to look up as far as you can. Just look up as far as you can. And can you look to your left as far as you can? Look to your left as far as you can. And how about down? Can you look down? Good. Look to your right as far as you can. Good. Look to your right. Can you look diagonally up in either direction? Diagonally down in either direction. Diagonally up in the other direction. Diagonally down in the other direction. Very good. Can you look right here? Good. And how about right here? Okay. Right here. Good. How about right here? Yep. Look right here. Look right here. And look at my nose. Look at one of the yellow flowers. Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. Here. Yep. Look at something blue. Something blue. Look at something black. Something black in the room. Right here. Right here. Right here. Here. And can you look up as far as you can? Good. Look down as far as you can. To the side. The other side. Okay, look at something gold. Good. Look right here. Look right here. 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 Good. Look at something brown. Find something brown. And how about something red? Can you find something red? Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. 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 Look at something blue. Yep, there's a few blue things around here. Look at something small. Something small. And look at something large. And look right here. 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 Good. Look at my nose. Excellent. Okay. Just keep on moving down the line. I am going to be using this little stick as a guide. And I'm going to be tracing some shapes, some numbers in the air. And I'd like you just to identify them if you don't mind. Okay, so let's start out very simple. What is that? Circle. How about that? Triangle. That. The number 9. Eight. Seven with that little mark in it, yep. 1, good. The square, good. How about that? Rectangle, good. How about that? 4. 2. 3. 4. Yeah, diamond or a rhombus, whichever way you want to go there. Yep. And how about something a little trickier? I can do that one again, yes. That would be a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides to the hexagon. Little lopsided, but still 6-sided. Alright. How about 6? Good. 5, good. Circle. Oval or 0. Very good. Now, I have some different objects, things that make different sounds, and I'm just going to have you tell me what something sounds like. Maybe you can't necessarily get to the specific item, but you can tell me what it sounds like, what the quality is of it, what it sounds like, maybe. So if you could just tell me. What this sounds like. What is this sound? What does that sound like? It's kind of crinkly. Kind of scrunching. Fabric. You probably wouldn't guess this, but this is the end cap of a rug. Good. And what about this? What sound is that? Pretty easy, yeah. A scissor. What sound is this? What does it sound like? Something solid. Something wood. Wooden specimen stick. Good. What is this sound? paper towel. What sound is that? Yes, something metal, something mobile. It is a little metal pinwheel. Good. What is this sound? What does it sound like? Kind of an odd one. Doesn't really occur out in nature so much. Diaphragm of a stethoscope. Not this one. Crinkly, thin, plasticky. Just some cling wrap. Last sound. What sound is this? Pretty easy. Paintbrush. Good. Now I'm going to have two sounds, and it doesn't matter if you know what they sound like or not. I'm just going to have you tell me which one you hear first, left or right, okay? Which one do you hear first? Okay, let me explain a little bit. I'm going to be making these sounds at the same time. Which one do you notice first? Which one do you notice first? Good. I want you to tell me which sound dominates over the other as I continue to make these sounds. It might not necessarily be the one you hear first, but the one that you focus on. Left or right? Good. And if I switch them around, is it the same? Okay. Let's get some different sounds. I think maybe. Okay. Which sound do you hear first? Okay. What do you hear first? What sound dominates? Left or right? And is it the same if I switch the sides? Okay. What about which sound do you hear first? What sound do you hear first? Okay. What sound dominates? Left or right? And is it the same on the other side? Okay. What sound do you hear first? Okay. What sound do you hear first? Okay. What sound dominates? Is it the same on the other side? What sound do you hear first? Left or right? Good. What sound dominates? And is it the same on the other side? Very good. That is going to conclude our experiment today. Let's see. Yep, that all looks good. Okay. Thank you for your participation in this study today. We really appreciate it here. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon, without which I wouldn't be able to make these videos. If you would like to help support the channel, I have a link in the description box to my Patreon. We have ad-free video access, early access to videos, Patreon exclusives, and audio downloads of